in the dry slick tracks, as these are only one-leggers, as they do not have a locked rear end. So only one tire does spin on these American stocks. We're waiting on timing and scoring to get our lineup correct. That is Wayne Dotson out front, Dakota Brown in the number 2 spot, James Coots running third, Brandon Ratcliffe fourth. And rounding out that top 5 is the 27 of Brock Crawford.
Yeah, Brock Crawford able to make a move and get past McCaslin. McCaslin have a little bit of trouble that last restart. He's going to have Steven Johnson right there with him this time. They're going to be side by side because this Delaware restart.
Brock Crawford making big-time moves, starting in the 14th position, and now already back up into the top 5 in that 27. So that is a car to watch. That black, pink, and white number 27 of Brock Crawford, starting 14th and running the top 5. So your leader, Wayne Dotson, looking to pick up a win in 2019 in the American Stock Division. The Ethan Dotson Racing number 74. The Larry Burns Race Engines 15D of Dakota Brown picks the high side in the second position. James Coots in the 38cc on the bottom side of row number 2. Brandon Ratcliffe outside row number 3. Inside is that 27 of Brock Crawford. Outside row number 4, the 55 of Mark McCaslin. Inside the 01 of Steve Johnson. Lights are out. Green flag flying, this time off of turn number 4. Once again, a nice slow pace from the 74 of Wayne Dotson up on the high side. Jimmy the Shoe gives him a hard look. Green flags in the air. We're underway once again with our Bang Energy Drink American Stock A main event. For the 34th running of the Budweiser Nationals, up on the high side goes Wayne Dotson in turns 1 and 2. He brings along the 15D of Dakota Brown. Down the back straightaway they go. Dakota Brown all over the backside of Wayne Dotson. They make contact in the center of 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, Wayne Dotson gets a bit loose. No harm, no foul, leads lap number 7.
As they go into 1 and 2, Dakota Brown right there with Wayne Dotson once again. Sitting there using that chrome horn just a little bit on corner entry. Letting everybody know that he's there. Wayne Dotson says, I know, I got to get away from you, and goes a little bit higher, catches some moisture, and drives away.
We got problems once again for Cody Sly off of turn number 2. Caution flag does come out. So the 23cc of Mike Conway and the 25 of Cody Sly get together once again, bringing out caution number 3, I believe. Off of turn number 2, Cody Sly sideways. You can see him stopped over there in turn number 2. Our official checking, make sure everything's okay. Looks like we're going to get the hook on the 25 of Cody Sly.
Yep, looks like that's going to be a night for Cody Sly in that 25 machine. 2 cautions, and you're done for the night.
So it's still Wayne Dotson out front. No change up front. Wayne Dotson, Dakota Brown, and the 38cc of James Coots.
Watching these cars on the restart, the top 2, Dotson doesn't seem to be as good as the 15 of Dakota Brown for the first couple of laps. Once they get the cars rolling, seem to get a little heat in the tires, whatever you want to call it. It's where Dotson seems to come to life, especially on the center of the corner out. Watch him on the exit of 2 is where he's been pulling away from Dakota Brown as well.
He's just able to keep that right side, that right rear tire up in the good stuff just a little bit better than the 15D of Dakota Brown. Gets that good drive, like you say, Corey, and he's just rocketing down the back straightaway.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting if they relay that message to Wayne Dotson and let him know that, hey, this is where Dakota's faster, and see if they
So we're still on lap number 7 for this A main event. Out front is the Ethan Dotson Racing number 74 of Wayne Dotson. The Larry Burns Race Engines number 15D of Dakota Brown running second. Third, the 38cc of James Coots, Brandon Ratcliffe fourth, and Brock Crawford rounding out that top 5. 7 laps in the books. 25 laps the distance for this A main event. You can see Cody Sly having to be pushed off the racetrack. We are waiting on timing and scoring to get all of our lineup cleared up. Now, Corey, you can see they did do a little bit of track prep between our heats, Bs, and now our A main event. And now what that's doing is bringing the moisture back up. It's going to look like they did just the top and the bottom. We're going to have nice two-groove racing for these first few A mains.
John, moments ago, I had to make my way down to the office of Stephanie to grab some batteries for our wireless mics, and I really got a good chance to look at the track. And right now, the track spectacular down in turns 3 and 4. I mean, the bottom's got a good tack line. The top's got the cushion. The middle, after what they just did, looks fairly decent. There's still something there to grab a hold of, but the track, getting close to it, looking at it, great racing surface right now.
During the break, I was talking with Troy Morris Jr. He was down here in his 07. Talked to him. He went through, did the heat race, and he qualified for the A. Went over the scales because he sold the car, and the guy backed out. The car was just a rolling chassis. Brought it back in, put it all together. Forgot to put the lead on it. Was 40 pounds light. Had to go to the B. Had to go to B feature. Goes to the B feature. Drives through. He said the track was great everywhere you were running.
Yep. Well, let's see what Wayne Dotson can do here on the restart. He had trouble with Dakota Brown last time out of turn 4. Here we go, green flag out and waving.
We're back under green flag conditions. We got Wayne Dotson up on the high side of turns 1 and 2. Dakota Brown follows him on the high side as well. James Coots freight train on the high side. Here comes Brandon Radcliffe and Brock Crawford, your top 5. Into turn number 3 up on the high side. Once again, Wayne Dotson gets it a little bit better than Dakota Brown off of turn number 4. He's going to lead lap number 8.
Looking at all the top 6 cars, they're all nose to tail, bumper to bumper on the high side. Make that top 7 cars. The only person that's going to be able to move up is somebody who's not playing follow the leader, and right now that's Justin Jackson.
Dakota Brown trying to make a move on Wayne Dotson. Couldn't make it stick out of turn 4. Dotson still in control of this one here on lap number 9. That was a bold move out of turn number 4.
He's going to try. He tried it early on lap number 9 to see if it was there. It's not there quite yet, as you can see that Wayne Dotson stretched his lead over Dakota Brown after Dakota Brown had a failed slide job attempt in 3 and 4. Now he's getting all kinds of pressure from the 38cc of James Coots.
We got one around over in turn 2. That's Miranda Scott. Her and Clay Waters got together in the 33. Caution flag is out for Miranda Scott. Yeah, they got together, Clay Waters and her, and she went around and brings out another caution.
And the C50 of Kaufman, running towards the mid to back of the field, was up into the fence in turns 3 and 4 as that car makes his way around. He's right in front of that orange 53. You can see the white balls on the right side of that number 50 machine.
Looks like the rivets have come loose on Brian Childers' right side of that car. Got a little dangle panel.
This is what you don't like as a race driver. You want to get into the race. You want to get settled in, get a rhythm, and these cautions, especially if you're in the position that Wayne Dotson is in. You're the leader. You know you're fast after that first lap or two, but you feel the pressure from the second-place car of Dakota Brown on these restarts. That's got to be a little bit frustrating for your leader.
Well, another thing that's frustrating with these are DOT tires. They are not made to go through heat cycles. You're putting heat cycles into these things, then you start to lose beads. You start to lose, the whole tire, the carcass itself will start to come apart going through all this stuff. So it's really going to come down to who can take care of what they've got that's, what rubber they can do on these cars. But I'm looking at Justin Jackson in the 4J. Lap number 2, he spun and had to start in the rear. He's back up inside the top 6 now.
Watching this race where we are so far, 10 laps in, someone who's really impressed me is the 55 of McCaslin. Watching that big car out there, just how he manhandles that thing. And he's sitting there in the top 5. I mean, he's got a good run going. We'll see what he can do with the double nickel out there.
Yeah, McCaslin's no slouch out there with these cars. He definitely knows his way around them, and he can muscle up with the best of them. It's nice to see him back out here on the track.
That car reminds me a lot of the car that Rich Denman drove here a couple years ago.
Yes, sir.
Very similar situation, very fast.
Yeah, that was one driver that we missed out here this time was Rich Denman. ran the Texas race, the Texas 600 a couple weeks ago or last week, whatever it was. And did fairly decent. He said he was happy because he beat Kenny Wallace. So.
So the lights are out once again. We'll take the green flag this time off of turn number 4. It's Wayne Dotson out front all by himself. James Coots and Dakota Brown, row number 2. Bumper to bumper is Dotson and Brown. Green flags in the air. We're underway once again for this A main event for the Bang Energy Drink American Stocks. Up on the high side they go. Down on the bottom is the 4J. Oh, big time shove from the 15D of Dakota Brown down the back straightaway. Wayne Dotson says thank you very much. Sends him down the back straightaway, gaps him into turn 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, give it to Wayne Dotson once again.
That was like a Daytona bump draft there. He hit him and moved him 10 cars forward.
All that did was help this 74 of Dotson, and now Dotson with a 2-car length lead into turn number 3 up front on the point. Doing a great job of driving on the top side of the racetrack.
Let's see if they can string some laps together as Wayne Dotson is gapping the 15D just a bit down the front straightaway. A good battle from the 01 and the 96 of Matt Crawford and the 01 of Steve Johnson for that 6th position. That is 6th or 7th and 8th battling side by side into turn number 3.
Whoa, Dakota Brown off of the wall in turn number 4. Reaches out and kisses that bad boy just a little bit. Definitely going to do a little toe work on that. We've got one around in turn number 4.
Kaufman, the car is still under fire, but can't quite get out of the way. The caution flag flies once again.
Don't move, kid.
For the C50 of Kaufman.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a mini stock and turn around. It's another thing to have an 18-foot boat sitting in front of you that's 3,000-plus pounds in a dust cloud.
So that was right in front of the leaders.
Oh, looks like we might have mechanical problems for the 01 of Steve Johnson.
Looks like it popped out of gear. He was able to get it back in.
We'll see what happens with the 01. As you can see, the black flag in the right hand of our flagman, Jimmy the Shoe Irwin.
Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it?
It might be the second caution for that C50. But I am not quite sure. But he does have the black flag in his hand.
Oh, it's out. It's out. It's C50 it is. Going to get that naughty flag. It says, time to call it quits, young men.
So we're going 2 charged yellows in the feature.
Yes.
And you're out.
Yes.
2-spin rule. 2-spin rule here at the Bakersfield Speedway. So if you cause any 2 cautions, you will be done for that event.
All right, back to a Delaware restart. So they're lining everybody up. You know, those top 3 guys have been battling all together. But, man, Justin Jackson spun on lap 2, had to start in 21st, and back up into 5th.
Well, here's right on this style of restart right now. This is doing nothing but helping Dotson with having the cars on the inside of Dakota Brown. It's taking that line away on the restart and allowing the 74 of Dotson to benefit from that.
I do believe if they were single file, we've seen the guts from the 15D. We could see that he would be able to throw that slider at any given moment as he tried on lap number 9. So with that 38cc of Coots down on the inside, he will not be able to make that move as the lights are out.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to clear Coots going into the turn to be able to set that slider up.
Green flags in the air. We're underway once again with this A main event for the Bang Energy Drink American Stocks. Down to the bottom side goes the 4J on James Coots. James Coots through the center. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Justin Jackson in the 4J on the inside of James Coots as Dakota Brown went to the high side through 1 and 2. They're 3 wide coming out of turn number 4 as Dakota Brown keeps the second spot.
We got trouble with the 0-1 of Steve Johnson off of turn number 4. Up into the 5th he goes. Keeps it pointed in the right direction. No harm, no foul. Wayne Dotson out front pulling the 15D. He's got 4 cars going into turn number 3. Coming up to lap number 15. 5 to go this time by. This race was shortened by 5 laps, so a 20-lap A main event. Wayne Dotson has to hold on for 5 more laps as he has 6 cars over the 15D of Dakota Brown. That's getting all kinds of pressure from the 38cc of James Coots.
James Coots driving through the middle there, trying to put some pressure on there. Gets that car set early. Keeps it clean. Caution flag for one around. That's Caitlin Guess in the 14 machine and Robert Guess in the 73. Both having issues.